From the wheel to the rocket, humanity has soared on the wings of progress. But in our relentless journey, have we become blind to the delicate balance of nature? This video explores 3 instances where humans messing with nature gone wrong. Once a vibrant sea, now a shrinking ghost. The Aral Sea's demise is a brutal lesson in messing with nature. In the 1960s, the Soviet Union, hungry for cotton production, hatched a ruthless plan. They diverted the Amu Darya and Sir Darya rivers, the Aral Sea's lifeblood, to irrigate vast farmlands in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan. Canals, like hungry veins, stretched across parched lands. Cotton production boomed, boasting a 500% increase by the 1980s. But the victory was short-lived. Imagine a giant straw sucking the life out of an ocean. That's what happened. Water flow plummeted, leaving the Aral Sea gasping, its level dropping a staggering 66 feet, 20 meters, per decade. By 2000, it had shrunk by a mind-boggling 85%, splitting into 2 smaller, saltier bodies. Fishing communities, once thriving on the Aral's bounty, watched their way of life vanish. Boats became rusty skeletons on cracked earth, a haunting echo of the past. The ecosystem collapsed, with 20 native fish species disappearing entirely. The exposed seabed, laced with pesticides and fertilizers, became a toxic dust bowl. Dust storms, carrying this deadly cocktail, choked the region, causing respiratory illnesses, birth defects, and other health problems. The Aral Sea once teemed with life, producing over 60,000 tons of fish annually. With its death knell, this bounty vanished, leaving a $15 billion economic hole and over 60,000 fishermen jobless. The Aral Sea's demise wasn't just an environmental tragedy, it was an economic catastrophe that continues to cripple the region to this day. The Great Australian Rabbit Plague. Back in 1859, a fellow named Thomas Austin, a wealthy settler with a hankering for some good old-fashioned rabbit hunting, unleashed a furry frenzy upon Australia. He ordered 24 wild rabbits all the way from England, thinking they'd be fun to chase around his estate near Geelong. They were experts at multiplying, and their population exploded faster than a popcorn machine. By 1880, with a span of just 21 years, started as 24 bunnies had ballooned into a billion-strong plague, causing chaos for the environment and the economy alike. Those cute bunnies quickly became a fluffy nightmare. They ate like crazy, munching up tons of Australia's native plants, leaving nothing for the other animals to eat. They weren't just bad for the environment, they were bad for business too. These multiplying machines competed with sheep and cows for food, and their digging turned fields into bumpy messes. It was a rough time for both the land and the people who depended on it. These European bunnies weren't your average pet store fluffballs. They could survive in all sorts of places, from hot deserts to wide open plains. It was like Australia was made just for them, and with no big bad predators to worry about, they were free to multiply like nobody's business. They were baby-making machines. These rabbit families were huge. They could have babies all year round, and those babies could have more babies really fast. Each mama rabbit could have a bunch of litters every year with a whole pile of baby bunnies in each one. All those babies grew up and had babies of their own. You can see why their numbers got out of control so quickly. Those super bunnies took over a massive chunk of Australia, spreading across 1.5 million square miles. They were a big problem for the environment and people's wallets. They chomped down on native plants, leaving no food for other animals, and even made the land more prone to erosion and weeds. They also competed with farms and ranches, and even helped other invasive animals like foxes and cats thrive. The rabbit plague in Australia has been estimated to cause hundreds of millions of dollars worth of damage to the agriculture industry each year. Rabbits reduce crop yields, damage pastures, and compete with livestock for food and water. The Invasive Animals Cooperative Research Center, Canberra, estimates rabbits cause losses of about $206 million a year to agriculture and horticulture. The Australian government has spent millions of dollars on research and management programs to control the rabbit population and mitigate its impacts. Thankfully, scientists found a way to fight back with a special virus called myxoma virus. This virus was like kryptonite for the super bunnies, causing them to get sick and die. Since then, their numbers have dropped dramatically, and Australia is finally starting to heal from the damage they caused. In 1958, China launched a campaign to eradicate all sparrows, believing they were major crop pests that consumed rice and other seeds from agricultural fields. Mao Zedong, the leader of China at the time, called this campaign the Four Pests Campaign and targeted 4 pests for elimination: rats, flies, mosquitoes, and sparrows. The government published posters illustrating the need for fly swatters, drums, gongs, and guns as tools in the fight for improved public health. People reacted by taking all measures in order to kill these four animals, especially sparrows. The humans declared war on the sparrows, aiming their guns at the sky and firing without mercy. The birds fled in terror but could not escape the bullets that pierced their feathers and flesh. The humans invaded their homes, tearing apart their nests and crushing their eggs under their boots. The humans made a deafening noise, banging pots and pans and drums and gongs so that the sparrow could not rest or land. The birds flew and flew until their wings gave out and they fell to the ground, dead from fatigue. The government encouraged these actions by accolading schools, work groups, and government agencies who had the highest number of pests killed. Estimates suggest that the government and the public were responsible for the deaths of 1.5 billion rats, 1 billion sparrows, over 220 million pounds of flies, and over 24 million pounds of mosquitoes. This caused a major backfire with fatal consequences. The government thought they were smart, getting rid of the sparrows that ate their grains. They did not realize that the sparrows also ate the insects that threatened their crops. Without the sparrows, the insects multiplied and became a plague of locusts. The locusts swarmed over the fields, devouring everything in their path. The humans watched in horror as their crops were destroyed, leaving them with nothing to eat. The humans starved and suffered, paying the price for their foolishness. Due to the decline in the sparrow population, locust numbers surged, wreaking havoc on crops. The Great Leap Forward became a tragic leap backward. This catastrophic event resulted in the largest famine ever recorded, claiming the lives of approximately 20 to 45 million people within just 2 years. Realizing their mistake, China imported 50,000 sparrows from Russia. Luckily, the sparrow population recovered and the birds are now protected species.